All right. So it looks like. Um, Actually, this is weird. I think I have my headphones in. I don't know if this is going to work any better or not. But um, for their first time, it looks like I have super chat. I got a email and stuff from YouTube saying I am now eligible for monetization and stuff and super chat and all that stuff. So as you can tell, if you're seeing this, if you're reading the title, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. So I thought, why not come here? Like I said, I am now eligible for super chat. Don't know exactly what the hell that is or how that works or anything like that. So I decided to, why not, go live again. It's been a while, been a couple months, I think, actually. And as you can tell by the title, we'll talk movies like we always do. Captain Spaceship, what is going on? Uh, we'll talk movies like I always do. Like I said, maybe if we get enough people in here, we'll do, a giveaway and stuff. I always like to give away all the movies I get in Horror Pack and such like that. So I do have that. Horror movie trivia, which I can pull right here, movie trivia stuff. And then I always, like I said, all the doubles and stuff that I do get from Horror Pack, I like to give away in these live videos and such. So if we get enough people to join and want to do the game and such, we can do that. But pretty much what I wanted to do, what's going on, Triborough? For those of you who are watching, the three people who are watching, Triborough is still, reign supreme and winning pretty much. I think I gave him half his movie collection. Actually, I don't know how big his movie collection is, but he wins all the time. So for those of you who are in here and want to dethrone him and stuff, like I said, if we get enough people in here at the point, I'll start giving away a movie or two and stuff like that. So, like I said, if you can tell by the title too, I got an email coming out of work saying I am now eligible for monetization and stuff and super chat. So I thought I'd try and see what that is. If you wondering what is in the background right now, I am actually watching a movie. It's the first movie I got on DVD in a long time now. If I can find the cover for it, as you can tell if you check out my Instagram and stuff, I'm not much of a DVD collector, but there's two women in this movie. One happens to be one of the writers of the movie, and the other one is we've had her on a couple times on the Dorkening. I'm talking about Sadie Katz and Augie Duke, and they're both in a movie called Clown Fear. So this is the first movie in a long time that I picked up on DVD. Like for those of you who have joined the chat and stuff, I have pretty much switched over directly to Blu-ray and stuff. But this one, is one that I wanted to pick up. If you're afraid of clowns, this one might not be for you. Well, actually, it is for you. For if you were a horror movie fan, this one is right up your alley. Let's just say blood, guts, gore, and boobs. Anthony, what's going on? Like I said, that's a movie I'm watching now. Pretty much for those of you who haven't joined the chat or joined my live streams and stuff, what I like to do as well is, not only talk about movies, but show off movies that maybe you've never heard of or never talked about. I did pick up a few from Amazon that I will check out at some point in time. This one, the trailer actually looked good, and it's a movie called The Sonata. Sounds like, just think if you ever seen the movie Boobs and Gore. Yes. That at that point in time, that's all you, especially in horror movies nowadays, that's pretty much all you need is blood, guts, gore, and boobs. And in this one, there's actually a lot. Did not expect to see as much as I did, but it's not a bad thing. So check out Clown Fear. It's pretty much, I bought it off Amazon, so it's I think it's like $12.99, something like that. So if you're looking to add movies to your collection, check that one out. Like I said, I picked up this one, The Sonata. It's classical music with a demon twist, like from the trailer is what I got. If this one girl plays a certain pitch or a certain sonata on her violin, it brings back a demon and stuff. So the trailer for the movie looked really cool. So I thought I'd pick it up. The next one I did pick up is Color of Space, Color Out of Space. What the hell is it? Color Out of Space. And it's put out by RLJE Films. It has Nicolas Cage in it. And for those of you who haven't seen the last couple Nicolas Cage movies, whether it be Mom and Dad or Mandy, you know, to tell you the truth, in his, in his, what do you want to call it? Craziness of his movies. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to check it out. It says stream your fears on Shudder. So I guess it's also on Shudder and stuff. The 13th Wolfman is in here. How many of these horror films have clowns in them? How are you doing, Mr. Nine Fingers? That is the only one. The Clown Fear is the only movie out of all the actually, I lied, because I did pick up this and I realized that it is not what I thought it was going to be. Well, it is the movie I thought it was going to be, but it's not the edition. For some reason, I decided to start collecting some of the more rarities of movies. You know, I keep on collecting so much stuff that to add to my collection, I decided to add some, more expensive titles. I actually bought a movie for $80. So that should be coming at some point in time. It's a movie called Ticks on Blu-ray with Seth Green and stuff. It's, I guess, from the early 90s and stuff. But this one, I'm like, oh, look, it's cheap enough. And I'm like, it's one of the out-of-print stuff. And it's Clown House. But Clown House, this is not the version of Clown House that is, out of print. It looks like it's a reprint or something along those lines. So that's probably why it wasn't as expensive as it usually goes for. So I kind of got my hopes up, and it's not exactly what I wanted. But this would be another clown movie, Wolfie, in case you were wondering. And the Ticks movie as well. I think I saw that movie back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm like, yeah, let me go and just pick it up for the hell of it. And then if you didn't see my my recent horror pack unboxing, I did a little Full Moon unboxing as well. I bought a whole bunch of movies from Full Moon, and I did that before my horror pack unboxing. And they sent me 2 of the same movies, and they didn't send me this one, but I got it in the mail today. And this is what the movie I was supposed to get, Doll Man, but they sent me 2 copies of Meridian. So I finally got Doll Man. So this is the movie I was supposed to get in that update. The music changed, so I thought I'd check to see what it was. So let me see. Clown House is great too. I saw it. Triborough doing well. Ticks is a good movie. Saw it when it came out. Amy Dolenz is in Ticks. She is the daughter of Monkey Mickey Dolenz. Oh, okay. Well, I did not know that. Like I said, I remember the trailer kind of reminded me of it, but I'm not 100% sure. It might have been one of those I passed in watching. Have you ever seen the movie Asylum Blackout? Asylum Blackout does not sound familiar, so cannot say that. I thought you were going to say Doom Asylum, which actually I was going to make a video of it, but I don't know if it's still going on. I forget the date that they were actually stopping it. But Family Video was having a Arrow movie sale. So I picked up a whole bunch of Arrow titles for pretty much like half price. And Doom Asylum was one that I picked up. And that I haven't seen that movie in forever. Let me turn off my TV because you're going to just hear, stuff in the background. But for those of you who just joined the movie, I was watching just now is Clown Fear. I don't really collect DVDs, but like I said in the beginning of this, the only reason I did pick it up is because of Sadie Katz and Augie Duke. They're both in there, but Alyssa Dowling's in it as well. But those 2 girls we've had on the Dorkening a bunch of times, awesome girls, and I'm like, why not support? So that's why like I said, I don't pick up DVDs, but this one I decided to pick up, and like I said, Clown House as well. But then I got a whole bunch of other stuff. I got all the stuff from Full Moon Pictures. I got a whole bunch of Arrow titles and stuff. But yeah, so for those of you who are in the chat right now, the live chat, like I said, it looks like we got a good amount of people in here. So what most people come here for is giveaways. I do movie giveaways, and the last time I did, I picked up this horror movie trivia set, so made it a little bit more fun of a time for you to kind of you know earn your movies as opposed to me just giving them away kind of deal. So if you're interested, let me know if you're interested in playing a game of good old horror movie trivia for what do you want to call it? I got a whole bunch of movies from. Let me see. Let me pull this out, and I'll show you the movies that I did get from Horror Pack that I have doubles of. So at that point in time, I will give away a movie today, most likely. So, all right, Anthony's in already. So let me see. I missed some of them. Tony, so your full moon horror pack video, well done, thank you. Gotta love Sadie and Augie, two awesome, scream queens. And anytime I see them in a movie, I'll get it no matter what, depending on even if it's horror movie or not. Augie's in a movie called, what is it, The Narcissists or something. It's just four people, that couples that broke up or something, and they're talking love lost and all this stuff. But Augie was in it, so I'm like, I have to get it. Let me see. I bought The Search of Darkness and finally got it. That movie took me. I have it in the collection somewhere. It took me, what was it? I ordered it in the beginning of October, like literally the first 2 days of October, and I got it. What, beginning of February, second week of February. So it was like a 5-month ordeal. I actually have my unboxing on my YouTube. But to tell you the truth, it is a lot better quality than I heard people getting like the original ones, and they were talking about the DVD prints and all this stuff, and they were upset with it. It actually came pretty well. I got a poster. Let me see if I still have it over here. Where the hell is it? There it is. I got a the Corey Taylor edition of the In Search of Darkness, but this is the poster that it came with. For those of you who don't know what In Search of Darkness, it's pretty much a 4-hour documentary all about 80s horror movies and such, and it was just people people in the industry, people who are in different industries that love horror movies, aka Corey Taylor and stuff. And it's a 4-hour documentary, which I have not got all the way through, about all the movies of people's childhood and stuff like that. So it was very nice documentary, great quality. So we got a few people who said they'll play for a movie. So Tony, have you seen Redcon 1, if it has Katrina Lee Waters in it? If you remember, she was in Karate Kill. If it's Redcon 1, I think it's where the hell is it? I'm pretty sure that's what you're talking about. I do have Redcon 1. This is the Epic Pictures. They put it out in their Dread Central collection, where they put out, it's almost like a horror pack kind of deal where they put out, it's a full collection. So that I have not seen the whole thing. It's not really up my my greatest forte kind of deal. It's not it's more science fiction type, but I do own it, like I said. I just try to collect it. So it looks like 2 people will play. If I can get like 3 or 4 people that want to play the horror Trivial Pursuit for a movie, then we'll definitely go Airwolf or Knight Rider, and why? To tell you the truth, I didn't watch either of them when I was younger, so I'll play. It was a virus zombie film. I guess I'm thinking about the wrong movie then. I mean, I have it, but I guess seeing the trailer or whatever, what do you want to call it? thought it was the wrong movie. So anyway, so now we got three. If I can get one more person, we'll play for a movie, and I'll show you what you can win. Because for those of you who know, I do Horror Pack, and I always have um, so many movies out of the pack. So I always have doubles and stuff. So let's see. We have Don't Breathe. If you guys want to play for Don't Breathe, Victor Crowley. It's the fourth edition or fourth installment of the Hatchet series. We have this one I accidentally ordered. For those of you who wanted, bulk up a collection, go to HamiltonBook.com and you can bulk up a Blu-ray collection very quickly. And I guess I read it wrong. I thought it was Lost Boys The Thirst, but it was Lost Boys The Tribe, which I already have. This is the one with Autumn Reeser and what's his name's son, Angus Sutherland. So this is the second Lost Boys. So we have that. Let me see what else we have here. The Reef, which is actually pretty good. And the shark movie. It's not, the greatest of movies, but it's up there for probably like top 10 shark movies. The Darkness, that's another movie I have here. And that's the only one that I have in front of me right now. So we'll play for one of these five, because I actually, since they didn't ask for the movie back, where the hell did I put it? Meridian. I don't know if anybody's going to want Meridian from what do you want to call it? Full Moon, but that's another movie that I got a second one. I ordered Doll Man, and they sent 2 copies of Meridian, so that'll be up there too. So I'll just wait for one more person, and then we'll start a nice little horror trivia pursuit. But let me see. Airwolf, what's going on? Infinite Midnight. For those of you who are just joining as well, another reason I decided to come back live after a while is because it's now Super Chat. So I don't know what the hell that means exactly. I see on the bottom I have nice like a sticker and stuff, and I don't know what that does, to tell you the truth. Okay, so we got little stickers, and we got it looks like a money sign. So if anybody wants to just hand me money, you can. Only kidding. But yeah, that's another reason I decided to go live, is because I now am eligible for monetization on my videos and Super Chat. So that's another reason why. If you can't hear, I'm still sick. So that's another reason for the past month at least I haven't been 100%. So that's another reason why you haven't seen too many videos. But I am getting better by the second. So Meridian is cool, chilling, dude. Infinite. What's going on, Johnny? We got DJ and movies in the house. What game are we playing? So the game that we have, if you want to join, is the Trivial Pursuit Horror Movie Edition. I only did this once, and there's so many more so many more questions in this. So we have a whole bunch of stuff to go through. So it's one of those deals like I think the last time we played, either the first to 5 questions right won, or I forget exactly what it was, to tell you the truth. Get well, bro. Watch out for the virus. Yeah, coronavirus is now in Jersey. I know it was in New York. Now it's in New Jersey. Now it's going whatever. Everyone's going nuts, especially at my job. I work at a grocery store. The cleaning supplies are now gone. It's ridiculous, actually. So let me see. I don't know if it's okay. It just said the connection's unstable, so I don't know if it's clicking or anything. But glad to hear you're back to talk with everyone. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while. It's definitely been a while, but it's also, like I said, I haven't been 100%. It really sucks. Usually suck at that kind of game, but to tell you the truth, Infinite, if you if you get a question that you what do you want to call it, want to, or a group of movies that you enjoy the most, you might get a question for that. So it's only always up for fun. But Desert Warrior, best apocalyptic movie. That's a little bit before my time, I'm guessing. Like I said, also me and Wolfie all the time always talk about movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and stuff like that that I never checked out. That he has an endless supply of movie knowledge. So I'm healing from surgery almost 5 weeks ago. Well, hopefully that's a quick recovery for you, whatever you had surgery on. Hopefully, you're feeling better. Um, any new movie pickups? Well, for those of you who joined a little bit late in the video, I'll show you what I did pick up. For those of you who did see what I did pick up, you're going to see it again. So anyway, the movie I was watching right in the beginning of this is Clown. What is this? Clown Fear. I forgot what movie I picked up. Clown Fear. Stars Sadie Katz and Augie Duke. That's the only reason I picked up a DVD, is because I wanted to support them. So that's one I picked up. Color Out of Space. This is the new Nicolas Cage movie. I enjoyed Mom and Dad. Mandy was a little bit crazy for me, but I enjoyed it. So anything with Nicolas Cage nowadays is a movie I'll probably end up picking up. Anything that he's in now, because it seems like horror is his new niche, I guess. So I picked that one up. I picked up Clown House, which I thought was the edition where it was out of print and stuff, but as you can tell, it's in this like clear case and stuff like that, and it's definitely not the edition that's going for money. The Sonata, I saw a trailer for this. It seems pretty cool. It seems like, if you ever seen the movie, what the hell am I thinking of? Deathgasm, where the kid plays the guitar and he hits a certain note and the demons come alive. It doesn't seem like that kind of movie, but she's playing a violin, and supposedly if she plays a certain sonata, the demons come alive and stuff. The trailer looked actually pretty good, so I thought I'd pick that one up. I got Doll Man in. I got 2 copies of Meridian in my full moon thing. They were supposed to send this movie, but they sent 2 copies of Meridian, so I ended up picking this one up. I have a whole bunch of Arrow videos that I did pick up, which eventually I have another shipment coming in. So probably once they come in, I'll show off what I got. I haven't been doing it for videos for a long time. Tony, would you say the best apocalyptic movie is Dogma? At that point in time, I mean, if you're a Kevin Smith fan, I don't want to say, to tell you the truth, I haven't seen many apocalyptic movies, because it's not, if it's not in my genre of liking, I guess you want to call it, I don't give it a chance, which is also my problem. Like I said, sci-fi isn't really 100%. If I had to choose, it'd be like, for Wolfie knows this, horror comedy is always going to be up there for me, like top of tops, and then probably like 80s slashers and stuff like that. So apocalyptic movies are kind of, I just watched one I got from, I think it was what is it, Creepazoids, which I guess is another kind of apocalyptic movie, but they're inside with like this acid rain coming. There's a war, like a nuclear war and stuff. So I guess that's kind of an apocalyptic movie. But let's see, Mad Max trilogy is great. I definitely enjoyed, out of the Mad Max trilogy, it was Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Gigolo, which, okay, so now you guys are talking amongst yourself. Cage is one weird dude, but I still like him, especially the past couple movies. He's definitely been out of his mind. Let me see. I saw The Invisible Man last week, and it's awesome. I heard really good things about it. No such thing as horror comedy. We've had this many conversations, me and Wolfie, and he's trying to tell me that. Well, I understand, like we get each other, but still, like kind of I don't know. You have to hear some of our conversations that we used to have for like hours on end. Phil's creepy video, what's going on? So like I said, it sounded like a lot of people want to play the game at least. So I'll get it going now. and then we'll talk in the middle of it, of course. So what you're playing for is one of these 5 movies plus Meridian, if you want it. The Darkness, Don't Breathe, Victor Crowley, uh, Lost Boys: The Thirst, and The Reef. So if you guys want to play for one of these movies, I should have my okay, and then I think I have a pen over here, and we'll play the horror movie Trivial Pursuit for a chance at a movie. And I think we went like 5 questions, or was it 3 questions? The first of 3. I guess I don't remember because it's been a while. The only one I do not have is Meridian. So if Wolfie wins, we know what movie he's going to pick. So just say I'm in, and then if we get 4 people, we'll start it. So you guys have to be interactive. All right. So Anthony, that's the only one he doesn't have is Meridian. Let me see if I do have anything else sitting here. Because I know I put a whole bunch of stuff away, and to tell you the truth, I don't want to go. Yeah, that's you see Creepazoids with the other movie I picked up. So I guess you would call that, a post-apocalyptic kind of deal. So, all right. So we got 3. We got Triborough, who's still champion somehow. No one's been able to dethrone him. So, but to tell you the truth, you got some competition, Triboroughs, because Wolfie is a, just endless array of knowledge. So, all right, DJ, music, and movies. We'll call it 3, just because now we got a bunch of people in here. So the first 1 to 3 is will win the movie of their choice, except for Wolfman and Anthony, because they're the only well, I guess, but it's also the the difficulty of questions, because some of them are definitely more difficult than others. So I put you guys in the order that you answered, or that I see on here. So Wolfie, you get to go first. So, and then Infinite's next. Triborough. DJ, music and movies. And then Anthony is at the end. So that's where we'll go. And like the last time, there's a little dice in there, and then there's like all these different questions that could be asked. But there's a whole bunch of other, categories for this game. So let me read them off again while, because I don't even remember. I know one of them was like slashers and stuff, and where's the card that tells you? All right, so you have 6 categories. You have monsters, gore and disturbing, psychological, paranormal, killer, and international. I'll show you the little card. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of blurry and stuff. But there are 6 different categories. There is a nice little die, which I will be rolling, and then your question will correspond with that, with the little dice. So, because sometimes, you definitely pick a category that you enjoy the most, or you think you're going to get the most, but your, whatever you want to call it, your fate lies in the die. So we'll go like this. So Wolfie, you're on call. You'll be the first one here, and we'll see which one you get and which question you have. So your category is green, which is international. So actually, to tell you the truth, I think Wolfie probably has this one down pat because all he talks about is international horror movies and stuff like that, especially you know, um, especially Italian horror and stuff like that. So if you see it, you might be. Do we have 5 seconds to respond? No, I'll give you a minute to respond because I don't know if there's a lag or anything like that. So I'll give you a minute to respond, and then we'll go from there. So, Wolfie, your question is actually I think we had this the last time because I remember this one. I don't know how I pulled that one off, but we pulled it out. All right. So, what do you want to? Is he the only one who is supposed to answer? Yes. Do not anybody except for Wolfie stay quiet for maybe we'll do 30 seconds. I mean, if you guys think that someone will cheat or something like that, if whatever, so we'll give it 30 seconds. I'll start the clock and then I'll ask the question and then I'll start the clock. So 5 seconds. I think that's a little too quick because at that point in time you still need a couple seconds to at least type the answer. So, what do you guys want before I start this whole thing? What do you think a good time is for answering the questions? Because I think you need at least 5 seconds to at least type the answer. So we got one for 30 seconds. We got one for 10 seconds. So 30 seconds. Um, okay, so it's looking like there's an average right there. We'll go with 30 seconds. That'll give you enough time to at least type it, think about the question, because some of them are kind of difficult. So we'll go 30 seconds. We won't go a minute, and we'll go with that. So Wolfie, you're the only one who's answering at this point in time. So the question is, well, I think knowing you, you'll get this one in 2 seconds. What is the country of origin for the titular bird? What is this? What is the country of origin of the titular bird in the bird with the crystal plumage? So I read that completely wrong before I read it. So it's actually what I guess the bird that's in the crystal bird, the bird with the crystal plumage. What country is it from? The titular bird. So actually, I read that completely wrong, and yeah. So, what is the country of origin of the titular bird and the bird with crystal plumage? I thought they were asking what is the country of origin of the movie itself, but we'll see. Okay, you got 15 seconds. Let me kind of move my little thing there. All right. I don't know if Wolfie is still with us. Not sure where the peacock is from. You'll say Italy, and that is actually wrong. It is Serbia. The answer for what country is the titular bird or titular bird from the crystal plumage is from Serbia. All right. So, Infinite, you are now up. Infinite Midnight, you will be answering this next question. Some are like these international ones. Some of them are where the movie's from, but that one is definitely harder. So anyway, Infinite Midnight, you are up, and your category is purple, which means it is monsters. So we're going with that. So I'll stay on this card because it's nice and easy. So your question starting now is in what country is Ginger Snap set? The one from 2000, the first Ginger Snap. movie. What country is that set in? So you got 30 seconds from now. You got 10 seconds to answer. Infinite Midnight. What country is Ginger Snaps set in the 2000 movie Ginger Snaps? You got three, two, one. Infinite. Let's. US is wrong. The movie Ginger Snaps is set in Canada. So it is a Canadian film. Ginger Snaps is from good old Canada. So the next one up is Triborough. So you get, like I said, I'll spin the nice little die here, and you'll get 30 seconds to answer the question that I will have for you. And your color is orange. So orange is the color yours, and it is what the hell is this? Would be paranormal. So I don't know. There's a pink color, there's a red color and stuff. So okay. So yours is your 30 seconds will start after the question is read, Triborough. So this is the house in We Are Still Here needs fresh souls every how many years? Read it again. The house in We Are Still Here from 2015 needs fresh souls every how many years? Yours starts now. So you got till 56. $30 is the correct answer. 30 years. We are still here. It needs fresh souls every 30 years. So, Triborough, where the hell did I put my pen so I can mark it down? You were the first one to get on the board. So, one. All right. So, DJ, music, and movies, you're up next. So, you will get, let me see. The blue one, which is gore and disturbing. So everybody's pretty much got a different question. So I'll ask from this one. So again, your DJ, music and movies. Your time will start after I read the question. In the House of a Thousand Corpses from 2003. What is the surname of the monstrous family torturing the protagonist? So again, what is the surname of the monstrous family torturing the protagonist in the movie House of a Thousand Corpses? And your time starts now. You got till 35 music and movies. DJ, should I say. Ten seconds. All right. Like I said, I don't know if my thing is never seen House of a Thousand Corpses. I'll just guess the Devil's Rejects. The surname of the family from House of a Thousand Corpses is actually Firefly. So they are the Firefly family. That is the crazy family from that. So Triborough still is the only one with a point. So we'll go to Anthony is now up, and your is yellow. So this is actually another question I could just pull off this card right here. So the question for you, Anthony, like I said, your time will start after I read the question. What is the color of the reoccurring hooded raincoat worn by the killer in Alice Sweet Alice from 1976? Again, what is the color of the reoccurring hooded raincoat worn by the killer in the movie Alice Sweet Alice from 1976? Your time starts now. You got till 4020 or 4120, should I say. You say yellow, and you are correct. The color of the raincoat in Alice Sweet Alice is yellow. So, um, Anthony, you see your color will be. I got to pull another card because we finished that one. So your color is yellow, Wolfie. So yellow again is killer. So let's see. What actor voiced Chucky in the Child's Play series from 1988 to 2017? Again, what actor voiced Chucky in Child's Play series 1988 to 2017? You got 30 seconds now, so you got till 32 or 42:32, Wolfie. So, who voiced Chucky? Yep. Not the correct spelling, but I'll give it to you. I know exactly. I know who you knew it was. So Wolfie gets 1 point right there. So Infinite Midnight, you are now up. Like I said, some questions are going to be easier than others. Some questions are going to be, tough ones. So Infinite, you are now up, and you get the looks like a pink rather than purple. So yours is psychological. I'm going to have to look at this all the time. But your question is, okay, in what century does The Village from 2014 take place? 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, or 21st century? So you got one of four choices. In the movie The Village from 2004, what century does it take place in? 18th, 19th, 20th, or 21st century? Your time starts now. You got till 43:50. Miss Infinite Midnight, should I say. Time is up. Out of those four, what's happening? Top Shagger McKay. We're playing a game for a free horror movie. So 19th is incorrect. It's the actually from the 21st century. For those of you who've seen The Village, it's one of those no one knows exactly, or the people that are in this village have no idea that they're in this village, and it's actually placed in now time, I guess you wouldn't want to call it. So we are now up to who's up now? Triborough. So three people have a what movie? It was The Village from 2004. That's a long time ago. So Triborough, you are up. So we'll go like this, and yours is orange. Your piece of pie would be orange. So that is again paranormal. So okay, so paranormal. This is only for Mr. Triborough, the current reigning champion. What is the name of the twin siblings of Thomasin in The Witch in 2015? So the movie The Witch What is the name of the twin siblings of Thomason in The Witch? So you need both their names. Um, so Top Shagger McKay only watches movies from Northern Ireland. So you got till 46 minutes even, Mr. Triborough Gigolo. We'll see if you can get a second point. So you need both the names of the twins in the movie The Witch. That would be correct. Mercy and Jonas are uh, the twins in the movie The Witch. So, Triborough, you get the point. So right now it's 2. It looks like we're losing some people. So hopefully the people that are in this game are still here. Hopefully they didn't get bored and didn't want to win a movie. So, uh, who is up next? DJ Music and Movies. If you're still in here, uh, let me know, or forever hold your peace so I can ask you the question, because I don't want to. Anthony's still here. Triborough just answer the question, so he's still here. So we're missing 2 Well, I don't know. So there's 4 people here. Okay, so DJ Movie, you're still here. So this is your question. So just making sure I don't want to, cheap anybody out. So your question will be a green piece of pie, which is international. So again, green piece of pie means international. Same thing. What is the profession of the protagonist Sarah in the movie Inside? So from the movie Inside, what is the profession of the protagonist Sarah from the movie Inside? You have 30 seconds starting now. So you have 47 7 about. If we get another round, just because people already have points, we're only playing at 3 points, Johnny. So the next round, I guess, if we still have enough players, I'll you can get in there. I just don't. You'll be behind Triborough, who's friggin' the champion anyway. So you got a couple seconds. Level out. I have no idea. Doctor. The doctor is incorrect. She was a photographer from the movie Inside. Sarah was a photographer. So Anthony, you are now up. Right now it's 13th Wolfman. If he's still in here, he has a point. Triborough has 2. And Anthony has 1. Those are the points on the board. We're playing until 3, and we'll go from there. All right, so now we have, looks like it's pink, so I have to get another card because that is a psychological question. All right, so Anthony, your question is, in It Comes at Night from 2017, which I think is the A24 film, which character is the son of Paul? Is it Travis, Will, Andrew, or Bud? So you have a 1 in 4 chance. I'll read it again. Which character is the son of Paul, Travis, Will, Andrew, or Bud in the movie It Comes at Night? Like I said, it's a A24 film. You say Andrew, and you are incorrect. The correct answer would be Travis. I own it, still haven't sat down to watch it. So I don't blame you. I haven't watched the movie myself. So the correct answer is Travis. So Wolfman, you are up. If you're here, let me know, because it looks like you might be the only person that isn't here. Because at that point in time, if you were not here, we will have to move on. It's either Wolfie or Infinite Midnight, who is not here because three people actually Infinite is here, so we give you a minute, Wolfie, to answer. If you're not here, we will move on to Infinite because it's only showing four people, so gotta be someone that isn't here. So it's looking like it might be Wolfie that decided to leave. Left me alone. He left my stream. I can't believe it. So we'll give it a 52. If he doesn't answer Infinite, you would be up. So anyway, how's everyone's day going? How's this lovely? Actually, today's weather was actually pretty good. It's supposed to snow here tomorrow, and then go to 60 the next day. So no wonder why I'm sick all the time. From 30 degrees to 60 degrees, and then back down to 20 degrees and stuff like that. So that's another reason why I'm sick. All right, so Wolfie's got 9 seconds to answer, and if not, question goes to. And actually, in Jersey, it was very nice. So we do have a fifth person here, but I'm not 100% sure if it's Wolfie. And I guess it's not. So Infinite, you are now up. You will steal whatever question was for Wolfie, and it is an orange piece of pie, and the orange is paranormal, which I did not go through here. So this is your question. What decade is Ouija Origins of Evil from the 2016 set in? So the movie Origins of Evil, Ouija Origins of Evil. What decade is that set in? It's not giving me a rundown, so not going to be able to give you a multiple choice. So you got 20 seconds to answer. Yeah, it's going to be a weird spring. Ready for daylight savings time? I am not, because I don't know. Time change just kind of screws me over. So you say the 60s, and you are correct. So yes, Origin of Evil is taking place in the 60s. So you were correct in your answer. So right now, Triborough is up, and if he answers this question correct, he is still the reigning defending champion. And again, I will send him a movie from my collection to bolster his collection. So, Triborough, you're up, and your question is a yellow question, which is killer. Okay, well, looks like Triborough has won again, because this one is pretty easy. So, congratulations to Triborough. What actor played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho in 2000? Again, the question is, who played Patrick Bateman's in 2000's Psycho? You have 30 seconds from now, meaning you have till 55 even to answer the question of who played Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. Triborough, you are correct, and you win a movie. Congratulations. Someone's got to beat him at some point in time. Like Ragman, yes, Christian Bale was the answer. That is correct. We were playing Trivial Pursuit For those of you who were just coming in, we were playing Trivia Pursuit for a movie. For those of you who don't join my live streams or anything, I will give away a movie um, every live stream. So that's what I do. And there was 5 movies to choose from. Well, 6 movies. The Reef. We have The Darkness. We have Don't Breathe. We do have Victor Crowley too, but I was looking at, for some reason, the back reminded me of Victor Crowley. But Victor Crowley, the fourth part of the almost forgot his name. He almost lost. Well, actually, he had a question up on everybody, but yes, Christian Bale is the answer. Um, and then, like I said, the third are the Tribe, Lost Boys, the Tribe, and then of course Meridian is the other movie. So let me know which one you want, Triborough, and then you can add it to your collection. I'll take Don't Breathe. All right. So we will maybe commence. Maybe we'll do another round. And then maybe I'll just kick Triborough out so he doesn't get another movie from me. No one heard that. No one heard that. I didn't say that. But yes, for those of you who are joining or whatever, I see people popping in and out. So I'm not sure who's here and who's not here and stuff like that. Triborough, just send me your address and stuff and on Instagram or whatever, and I'll send it out to you either tomorrow or at some point in time. You'll get it. But the other reason I'm here is because I guess have enough watch time, watch hours, watch whatever, and I got monetized on my videos, so I'll be making probably more. You'll probably see some kind of what do you want to call it? Some kind of commercials or something in some of my videos. You can always just skip it, but it's one of those things where if I can make a few extra bucks and to help with my movie addiction, then so be it. If I can make, I didn't make anything in the first 10 years of my YouTube existence, so we'll see if that changes, because I think it was one of I think it's fun too. Like I said, I'm going to start doing more lives just for the fact now that I have super chat and all that stuff, and like I said, eventually, it might get AdSense and stuff like that. So I have a big movie addiction. Yeah, as you can tell from behind me, and every week it's just growing and growing and growing and growing. So, like I said, if I can get a few, I mean, most of the time I'll just look for the best deals that I can get. So, that's what I do now. But the other thing is, if it's if I can get a few bucks from AdSense and stuff, we'll go from there. Nothing too crazy, nothing too big, nothing too extensive, but any dollar helps. That's $1 less that I use for myself. But yeah, it's what I plan on doing too is like I said, I have a video idea for the most expensive movies in my collection. That's probably going to be the next video I actually do once I get the movie Ticks. Like I said, I got that in the coming in the mail. So once I get that in, I looked up some of the prices for some of the movies that I have in my collection. My Blu-ray collection, should I say? My DVDs are now out of my room and into the garage because I kind of ran out of space for both. I used to just keep all my DVDs and stuff in my closet. And is your collection just horror? It's a little bit of everything. Like the stuff behind me here is like the top of that over here is A24. I have a different what is it, Gravitas Ventures. That's another collection that I have over here, which has a little bit of everything. DC and my TV shows and all this stuff, but this whole side of my collection from here, and then I got that stuff there, and then it wraps around. That's horror movies are definitely the bulk of my collection, but it is I got a whole bunch of everything. So um, I love out of print movie collection videos. Yeah, like I said, I did it the one time, but then people were yelling at me because the prices that I was getting, it was from I was looking on Amazon, and they said that that wasn't 100% sure. Do you go to horror cons? Not as much as I should, but this year I think we have a whole bunch in New Jersey. We have New Jersey Horror Con, which is in Atlantic City. For those of you who um, don't know, it's almost like it's a bunch of casinos and stuff like that. So they have that, which I haven't gone to yet, but I think I'm going this year. One that's like 15, 20 minutes from my house. It's called Chiller, but it's actually not that much of a horror convention, as it'll have some people from horror movies, but not really a whole bunch. And then thing called Monster Mania that I've gone to a few times, but I want to go to more for sure. Who played Lipstick Girl in Night of the Demons? That's what's her name, Linnea Quigley, I believe, from Night of the Demons. That she was actually in the movie Creepazoid. That what do you want to call it? She was in that movie that I didn't know. She was also in what the hell's the movie with the girl who played in Exorcist. What the hell? Something Vengeance. Um, but she's been a whole bunch of stuff. That's you want to call her like a scream queen. She is in a whole bunch of the 80s horror movies and stuff like that. But Linnea Quigley would be um, Linda Blair. There you go. Savage Streets. I lied. The movie is called Savage Streets, where Linnea Quigley plays Linda Blair's deaf mute sister, and there's like a gang that pretty much like gang raper, and now Linda Blair is after this gang. She turns into like this badass character and just starts killing this group of misfits off one by one by one by one. That's another one that cost me a decent amount of money because it did go out of print. So that's probably one that will show up in my collection. Some of the Arrow titles that I do own, those are out of print, and they're actually going for like the one box set is actually going for a few $100. I bought it for I think 45 or something like that, and now it's over $200. So I'm like, sometimes I'll pay that extra little bit in the beginning if I know that it's like a limited edition or anything like that. Like a lot of the other thing I do as well is any movie that's on like a Indiegogo or something like that. It's one of those. What do you want to call it? Like, I'll show you here. Like if things have like limited edition runs to it, I'll end up picking it up. This movie is called Pieces of Talent. I think I've mentioned it on some of my videos, but this is like limited edition artwork that at one point in time I'm just like, do I need 5 copies of the same movie? No, I definitely don't. But if I can, not only support indie film, but get like cool covers and stuff, those are the ones I kind of go for. And then there's other ones that I do have like limited to 100 copies or anything like that. But the one, like I said, if you were wondering what movie or what set I was talking about that kind of shot up in price, it's the Arrow 4-film collection. Even this 2-film collection is actually going for a pretty penny now. But this is the Arrow 4-film, the house set, which I did not know. I knew there was 3. I did not know there was a 4th one, but that one kind of shot up in price. Do you collect movies from Vinegar Syndrome? I actually ordered some. They had a sale, I believe, the New Year. So I think I don't have as many. Like the companies that I have the most from is my Scream Factory, which is this whole row here. Like these 3 are all Scream Factory. Arrow, I just got a whole bunch. Vinegar Syndrome, I have some. Those are actually down in that corner. I have Tammy and the T-Rex or something like that is one I picked up. I got Hell Comes to Frogtown. Uh, I own that too. It's great. It's a great set of movies. Yeah, like I said, um, for I think it shot up from $40 now. If you look, it's like close to, well, it depends on who's selling it on eBay and stuff like that, but it shot up to like, like close to $200. So I do have a small, like I said, a small Vinegar Syndrome collection. It, at some point in time, if I have if they have another sale, usually, especially those kind of companies, I'll wait until they have a sale and then just buy a whole bunch. Um, what's another one? Full Moon. I was showing some of the stuff that I did get. If you checked out my horror pack unboxing, I got a whole bunch of stuff from Full Moon. I have a good, well, I'd say over a good collection. I think at any company is like 10 movies. I'd say 10 movies or more. So I do have 10 or more from Full Moon and stuff. Is that a house box set, the one with the book included? Yep. This one has the little. It's actually, I forgot that it was actually like a hard cover as opposed to the some of the box sets that I do own. I'll have like what do you want to call it, like a soft cover, but this is actually pretty good. Pretty good quality. So it does come with the book, and it does come with, like I said, I knew there were 3 house movies. I did not know there was a 4th one, and that one, and that was it. Let me see. Do you own the Anaconda 4 film Blu-ray collection from UK and region free? That I do not own. I think I only own the, actually, I lied, because in my DVD horror movie collection, I did own all the Anacondas. At that point in time, too, when I started collecting DVDs, I would go on Amazon and find the movies for like $2 to $3. So, but I also have the problem being a collector that I have to finish collections. So even if the movie, like the 5th or 6th or 7th, whatever movie in the franchise is horrible, I am a completist, so I do have to get the movie just to say I have the entire collection. Like I said, like towards the tail end of the Anaconda series, because at that point in time they meshed the Anaconda and the Lake Placid series. That's another series that kind of shit the bed after the first 2. But yeah, I was one of those people. Still am to a certain point that I have to get everything out of the collection. It's just like, I watch the movie and I'm like, do I really have to? But then the collector in me is like, yes, you have to, kind of deal. What is going on, James? It's been a long time. What did you pay for the house box set? I got it when it first came out, so I think it was like 45 or 50. No more than $60 with like shipping and stuff. At that point in time, it was brand spanking new, and that's usually what, especially like box sets go for. Like I got a bunch of box sets from uh, Screen Factory as well, but I think no more than 60 shipped is what I got the house box set for. Now it's almost tripled in price. So, like I said, certain things, if I know that it's going to be limited, especially Arrow titles and stuff like that. Arrow has a bunch that kind of go out of print, and then Screen Factory has a whole bunch that maybe not the movie will go out of print, but the slip cover of that will actually at some point in time be worth something a little bit more. It's some people are selling the slip cover of the movie for 15-20 bucks as opposed to the actual movie. But yeah, that wasn't it wasn't cheap by any means, but especially like the collection, like this is another one that is going for a decent amount, and this is the 3 disc set of the Donnie Darko. It comes with the Donnie Darko, the theatrical cut and the director's cut. It's like a 3 whatever. The other reason I get Arrow titles all the time is just like look at the special features and stuff like that. There's so much stuff that you know that they have that I'm just like you Arrow and Screen Factory. If you're looking for some of these companies that have the best, like I'm a special feature person, like I need it. But what is this? You need to remind people to thumbs up the live stream. It helps your engagement. Like I said, I'm still kind of like a rookie at this. It's only what, like my fifth or sixth live stream that I've ever done, so it's still kind of new to me. Plus, like I said, I just got the super chat, I guess you want to call it, feature. Still don't know what 100% what that means, but I have that. It's awesome. I have the last two, the least. What is that? Oh, okay, have at least two other Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is definitely one of my favorites. One of the better movies that I enjoyed as a kid. So, uh, favorite horror film you had, if you had to pick one. Um, that's actually a little bit easier. It's up between two, just because they kind of, one started my whole horror movie enjoyment, and then the other one brought it back to life. So if I had to pick one of the two, it'd probably be, at this point in time, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Just because we were talking before with when 13th Wolfman was in here. I enjoy the combination of movies where you can have comedy and horror kind of put together. And it's one of those deals where uh, I just think it brought back my love of horror, because it has a lot of gore in it, and then it also has the funness to it. So if I had to say it, it would probably be Tucker and Dale versus Evil. But the other one, the one that actually started me on my horror kick, was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I said it, I remember watching it when I was really young, and then trying to explain it to people, and they're like, "What the hell are you freaking talking about?" I love comedy horrors like The Burbs. Yeah, that's another one. Um, there's so many, especially now. There's so many, lower, not lower budget, but more independent titles that, like, I can, at this point in time, um, I've switched my collection so many different times over. Like back then, I had them in, you know, categories, alphabetical, and now, which I kind of regretted after I did it, I put them in studio alphabetical, which kind of annoyed me because I realized that I didn't know what studios put out what movies. So I kind of should have just kept it in, you know, uh, genre alphabetical. But at one point in time, I kind of broke it down into genres as well, just straight up genre, like subgenre in the genre kind of deal. So I had a whole bunch of horror comedies kind of put together. But like, I do have some here. Like, if you've ever seen, this is one of my favorites, The Final Girls, uh, where they get sucked into the movie, and it's you know the slasher movie that they get stuck into, and they replays over and over and over and over again, because what they have to do is kill the guy, because in the movie there was a girl, like a final girl, that killed him, but because everything switched, because they went into the movie, the killer is now still going on. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check out that one. What's another one? These two completely different movies, but Dead Shack is one with where it's like an evil woman has these zombies in her cabin, and a family go and vacations that, like, the next cabin over, and then they realize that some lady has zombies. And then this one is Dead Ant, where the giant, it's like a creature feature kind of deal, but it's really it's a fun one. So there's a whole bunch of horror comedies that if I see that it has somewhat of horror, like, comedy in it, I'll get it for sure. Um, you're gonna binge watch on Friday the 13th. At that point in time, I've seen him so many times. That's actually my favorite. If you were wondering, that's my favorite franchise out of all of them. You know, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, and stuff like that. Friday the 13th is my favorite, you know, series. So I've seen it so many times. So I'll probably watch a couple, but I don't know if I'm going to binge watch the entire thing. Uh, if you like that, you may like Midnight Movie. Um, I think I know what one you're talking about. Uh, but I have that on DVD. I don't have that on Blu-ray, but I know what you're talking about. Do you collect older films like classic Universal horror movies and Hammer films? Well, at one point, I bought this bad boy here. They had it on sale on Amazon. That was one of the main reasons I was gonna buy them. You know, the legacy collections by themselves, but they had this thing on sale. I think it came to like $60 or something like that. So it kind of came down to like $2 a movie. So I'm like, yep, let me get this now. Like I said, I look for the cheapest, the best deals I can, and then I jump on them when I get them. But this is the Universal Movie Monsters, and I got like three different copies of the Universal Movie Monster single movies. Like I have steel books, I have the glow in the dark covers, and then they have the regular. I'll show you. I'll have to put that. So I have. So I have the Bride of Frankenstein with the glow in the dark cover. Then I have the Bride of Frankenstein with this cover, and then I have the steel book of the Bride of Frankenstein. So I kind of triple dipped on each one because if I find a movie with a really cool slipcover, I'll end up getting it, and that's a detriment to not only the space that I have for movies, but my pocket, my money, and stuff like that. But all these were really cool. I'm only missing a few of the glow in the dark covers, the slip covers, and I have all the steel books, the Universal Movie Monster steel books. So I do have. I've seen some of them. I haven't seen all like the collection and stuff like that. But I do own that, and I do. The only Hammer films that I really have is they had this. It's like a what is it? 8 movie um, set that they do had that they had for. I think it went to like $12. So I remember the 13th Wolfman always talking about Hammer film. So I picked it up. It's Brides of Dracula, The Curse of the Werewolf, Evil of Frankenstein. So I ended up picking up that when it was on sale. So uh, you buy the new Snatchers movie. Yeah, that's over. That's in the that one actually was pretty funny. Another speaking of horror movie, horror movie comedies and stuff like that. Where do you pick up most of your films, and what's the most expensive film in your collection? Um, I pick up pretty much all mine either from Best Buy, like I was saying, to kind of bulk up. If I want some of the cheaper movies, go to HamiltonBook.com. They have a lot of stuff for between $3 and $10. So if you want to build a collection, but Amazon, Best Buy, there, or if I buy it directly um, from like a the person. I do a podcast, Dorkening part of the Dorkening Podcast Network. We do a podcast every Tuesday night. It's called the Wicked Horror Show. For those of you who, I'm sure you heard me talk about it, but I don't know who's in here and who hasn't seen it or hasn't heard of it. But we interview independent horror movie directors, actors, actresses, and stuff like that. So I'll buy stuff from there. But then, of course, Scream Factory to add to the collection, or Epic Pictures. They have a Dread Central collection. Then I get it from there. So I get it from everywhere pretty much, but for the most part, it's Amazon. And the most expensive would probably be. Um, it's up there. The most expensive thing I paid for, if you can tell up there, that thing right next to the Turtle Van. It's a 50 movie collection. It cost me $200, but it comes with 50 movies. Um, all the what is it? The Warner Brothers 50 film collection, where it's the best award winners from 1930 something or 1940 something to the 2000s. So that was probably the most expensive thing I ever bought, but I also bought it on sale and I had a gift card and stuff like that. So I think it cost me $40, um, but it was over 200 because I had a gift card. I had some money left over. Like if you have Amazon Prime or you have the Amazon card, you get money back. So I had some money there. So I think out of pocket it cost me $40, but that would probably be the most expensive thing I ever paid for. Um, Now I'm trying to think. Yeah, because other things I paid for is like, I don't look to spend that much money, but if I can get it for cheap enough, like a whole bunch of this stuff, one of the things that kind of went up in price too is this 30 for 30 thing. I bought it for, you know, $50. Um, what do you want to call it? Whenever I see something on Amazon, like it'll give me a notification for anything that's, on super sale, I guess you want to call it. So whenever I see that, I kind of jump on it. The um, Big Bang Theory collection, I bought that when it was on sale for $100, as opposed to, because you look at it, there was 11 seasons, and if you buy season by season, unless you wait till Black Friday, they're usually like, $20 each. So at that point in time, it would have been $200. I spent $100 on it. Bought the Friends collection when it was on sale for like $60 or something like along those lines. So um, I just look for the best deals I can, and then if not, like I said, I'll splurge every once in a while. I bought the movie Ticks, which is out of print, for $80. So hopefully it comes in, decent condition. Because knowing my luck, I'll get a, movie that's in horrible condition, and I spend $80. Do you buy Scream Factory collection edition movies without slipcovers, or does it have to have it? The uh, price is the number one factor for me. Uh, I got the Big Bang Theory collection for $50. So, with slip, I mean, 95% of the time I'll wait for like a Screen Factory sale where everything is 30 to 50% off or something like that. So by the time I get special editions, I miss out on the slip covers. Do I want them? Yes, but at that point in time, if I can save, the extra $10, because I think when the special edition comes out, it's usually like $30, close to $30, and then after that, it goes back down to $20. So if I can say if it's something I really really want, then you know I'll pay the extra. The only things I really got when they first came out was the steel books, the uh, like this one here. Good thing I didn't open it because this one's going for uh, like $120 or like around $100, and that's the They Live steelbook. So these were the only ones that I really got when especially the thing that gets me all the time too is I hope they keep their word and stuff like that. So whenever I see like a limited edition, I buy it. And again, if it's cheap enough, I'll get a whole bunch of them. But if I see something that says like limited edition, I jump on it. That's the first thing I do. So I do have a whole bunch of you know Screen Factory stuff. But to answer your question, if I can get it for cheaper without the slipcover, I'll get it for cheaper without the slipcover because there's a whole bunch. Uh, oh, you got okay. Well, at that point in time, that's probably worth a little bit because, of course, rest in peace to Roddy Piper. But yeah, you know, I have that, and then Frog Hell Comes to Frogtown. I bought that. Speaking of Vinegar Syndrome, that was another Roddy Piper movie I do own in my collection. Let me actually get some water. I've been talking for like an hour, so I'm pretty parched. Yes, it is. If you look up The Dorkening on YouTube, uh, it would probably come up there. Or probably the best way to find it is on Facebook, because every Tuesday night we stream live, and then we take the what do you want to call it? We take the audio from that show, and then we put it on a regular podcast. So if you're interested, if you're more of an audio podcast listener, just look up the Dorkening Podcast Network wherever podcasts are streamed. You can find it there. But if you look on Facebook, look up the Dorkening. There's so many different shows that show up, but every Tuesday we go live. But if you look up the Wicked Horror Show, I don't know if you. I should have my. Actually, no, I don't want to do that, because I think the last time I went on my phone, it screwed up with uh, the internet and stuff. So I'm not gonna do that. But just look up, yeah, the Wicked Horror Show should be on YouTube. But the whole monetization and stuff, I think the guy kind of took out, or when you had to be kid friendly or something, or you get your channel shut down or whatever that was in the beginning of the year. I think the guy that runs it kind of took down a whole bunch of the videos and stuff, but they should still be up there at somewhere. Or you could just go to the Dorkening doc. Um, but yeah, Roddy Piper was a really nice guy in person. I heard uh, kind of mixed reactions from him. So I don't know if people met him at the wrong time or something like that. Um, but I heard he could be really nice, and then I heard he could be an asshole as well. But speaking about the Dorkening podcast, or the Wicked Horror Show, should I say, one of the last week we had, if anybody's in the Massachusetts area, we had what do you want to call it? It came from the 508. It's a company that put out a few shorts called one's called The Box, and one is called uh, One Last Kill. Uh, Really fun shorts. So check those guys out. We had, for those of you who follow Instagram and stuff, Destiny Orndorff and Tristan Clay. They were two younger directors that did the movie Red Eye, starring Jessica Cameron and Heather Dorff and a few others. Destiny's actually in it, so we had them on the week before. I mean, we try to vary it, because we've also had Kane Hodder came on the one time, Sid Haig came on, Michael Berryman we had on, Felissa Rose we had on a few times. For those of you who, like I said in the beginning, we had Sadie Katz and Augie Duke. That's why I bought that one movie. So we've had a mixture of well known people in the horror business, or the people that are just starting, that are lower budget. Do you like giallo horror films? That's one thing I got to get into more. Uh, I've seen some, but not as much. But it's also, at that point in time, it's one of those. What do you want to call it? One of those things where, when I was younger, I wasn't watching as much horror until, like I said, Killer Clowns from Outer Space got me into it. But I wasn't watching as much, foreign, or like, uh, you know, movies like that, Giallo and Argento and stuff like that. I never gave it a chance. That was my fault. I never gave it a chance. Not even got into, but I never really gave it 100%. But Kane Hodder documentary, that's another one that's in. What the hell is it? That's another one that's in the Dread Central Presents. That's another, like I said, collection that I get. That one happens to be number 4 out of the collection. So for those of you who have not seen this one, it's Kane Hodder pretty much goes and talks about all his movies and when he got burned. For those of you who didn't know, he was got burned. I think it was like 70% of his body or something like that in one of the stunts that he was doing early in his days, and then he kind of learned from there. But he was talking about how that changed his whole perspective on life, and you know, really cool documentary. If of course, if you're into, I'm sure everybody who's seen Friday the 13th and stuff like that are into Kane Hodder because he was Jason in what, four movies? I think 3 or 4 movies. I think he did he did Jason the most out of every actor that's played him. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. So I've seen people fluctuating in and out. For those of you who read the title, Movie Talk. For those of you who also read the title, this is my first super chat. You know, live stream, I guess you want to call it. Uh, Infinite Midnight said, if you want, give me thumbs up. So um, I guess I get noticed a little bit more. So Hatchet also, yeah, he brought Victor Crowley to life. Do you like to watch all the bonus features on Blu-rays? Yes. The only thing that I'm not into as much, which I'm learning to get into a little bit more, is the um, what do you want to call it, commentaries and stuff. Just because if I watch the movie, I should, if I've seen the movie before, I should just pop in the commentary as opposed to watching the whole movie again. But if I watch a movie for the first time, I'm not going to sit there and watch it again with the commentary. So I'm learning to like it a little bit more. There's some people that love the commentary, but if there's like behind the scenes or bloopers or something like that, I enjoy it a whole lot. Or just sitting down and having interviews with stuff. So that's one key point that I look at when I buy my movies as well. If they have some kind of special features, that's a bigger sell for me than if it's just like a bare bones copy of a movie. Because at that point in time, it's like, eh, it. I'll watch the movie and enjoy it, but if there's special features on the included to the disc, it knocks it up a level in my you know collector's inventory or whatever you want to call it. But yes, to answer your question, I watch pretty much all the bonus features. Like I said, sometimes I'll skip commentaries, um, but I tend to watch whatever they do because there's some movies that put like I said, Arrow and Scream Factory are ones that put so much into their movies, into their such like the special features. Vinegar Syndrome, I still haven't checked out too many of them, so I don't know if they kind of load their stuff with Criterion is another one. Criterion is way too expensive, but they load their movies with so many special features. But for those of you who don't watch special features, how do you do it? Because I always, especially certain movies, I want to see how it's done and what it took. I guess it's also the fact that doing a podcast, you learn so much behind movies and stuff like that that it's now a must to see what happened. And you own Spookies? Yes, I got the one with the cover two. I think they called it. Hold on. Where the hell is it? No, that's body mouth. Whatever cover this is considered, I think it's cover two of Spookies. So this is the. So actually, now that I pull out two of my couple um, Vinegar Syndrome ones, it looks like they do have a bunch of you know special features and stuff added to it. So behind the scenes gallery. What is this? Pinreel outtakes and bloopers. Uh, yeah, so I guess, like I said, haven't seen too many uh, Vinegar Syndrome, but it looks like they do put a good amount of stuff into their. The other thing I got from Vinegar Syndrome is the Amityville Horror uh, Cursed, I think it's called, box set, which is kind of took my one rare DVD and kind of made it not so rare anymore. The Amityville Dollhouse. I remember at one point in time that was selling for a good amount of money, like $70 or something like that. But now that they um, put it out on Blu-ray and added to it, uh, now that kind of took the price and put it in the dumps. So, but yeah, I got now that I'm looking at it, I got over over 10 titles. So I guess you would call that a, like I said before, a decent size collection for that company. So I do have over 10 Vinegar Syndrome titles. I have a bunch of Kino Low beer titles that they had a sale, and I bought a whole bunch of. Uh, what's your favorite era of horror? Um, Probably. Uh, I mean, I'm getting to like it more now. So, uh, but if I had to pick, it'd probably be the '90s, just because I am biased. I was, alive most of the '90s. So if I had to, if I had to pick it, then probably the '90s. Who's your favorite indie filmmaker? If I had to choose one, it'd probably be Adam Green. I got a whole bunch of his, but besides Hatchet, the Hatchet series, you have what is it, Frozen. He didn't have it. I don't know if he had a whole bunch of stuff, but then if you've never seen a TV show Holliston, uh, that's a I forget what channel that was on. It wasn't on any normal, uh, you know, uh, regular channel, but it's a. I guess they're trying to make a movie, make a slasher movie about a guy in a hockey mask, but he was a goalie. So it was. It's a pretty cool show. I think they're going for season 3, but check out Holliston um, if you haven't seen it. Uh, do you collect Scorpion releasing Blu-rays? I actually got one the other day because I picked up. What the hell is it? I have like 15 freaking movies on my bed, but I picked this one up from Scorpion releasing, and it's Sorority House Massacre. This is another one that was, out of print at one point in time. So I'm like, let me get it now before the price really shoots up. So that's Sorority House Massacre. So I picked that one up. I have to see. I have to go through my what do you want to call it? Blu-ray.com. It's like that's a way I kind of keep my stuff in order and stuff and know what I have. But it'll also tell you, break it down into company and stuff like that. As I choke to death, let me get some water. But it's one of those things where uh, I have to look at it periodically to see what I have. I had most of my collection memorized, so it's one of those deals I don't have to worry about wondering if I have it. But there's certain titles that I don't remember, so I'll have to kind of go back on it. Let me see. It's on DVD and Blu-ray now. Okay, so Wackos. I have to check. I've never heard of Wacko, so I gotta check that. Um, what's your favorite rom com? Uh, Let me see. That's a hmm. What the hell's the one with Amy Smart and Ryan Reynolds? Just Friends. That one's pretty funny. I enjoy that one. Um, My Best Friend's Girl, was it called? Uh, I think that's another one that I enjoy. Um, there's certain times in certain days and certain moods that I'll pop in a movie from every different genre. Like comedies aren't the same anymore, so I'll have to throw in a movie from like my childhood. Like I'll sit there and I bought. like I said, with the Kino Beer stuff, I bought like The Sixth Man and movies like that, Captain Ron, because every once in a while, you know, horror and stuff is really, really um, my passion. But you know, there's certain. I mean, my Disney collection. I have a big Disney collection because there's certain times at certain points that I need a little bit something different. So, do you cry during the Notebook? That I did not. Notebook, to tell you the truth, is not. I see why people like it, but it's definitely not one that I would consider, one of my top uh, rom coms or anything, or not even rom coms, but there's certain movies I must say. Let me see. Now I got to think of what movies. In the movie Braveheart, I cry when what's his name's father dies. I cry during that. Rudy, when he gets his acceptance letter, when he's reading it and he's finally, happy and he's running and all that stuff, I shed a tear there. What's another movie? In A League of Their Own, when Betty Spaghetti finds out that her husband dies, that's another, scene that I cry. Armageddon, Bruce Willis, yeah, that's another one that there's certain movies that it uh every guy cries at Rudy. I think what do you call it? The one commercial that they play on repeat on all these freaking YouTube videos with the one guy with the beard and whatever, and he's like, everybody cries during Rudy or whatever. But yeah, that scene is very not as much when his friend dies when he gets blown up, but that one scene when he reads that acceptance letter, or at the end, especially when he gets carried off the field or whatever. That's a I mean, they said that they took liberties with that movie, but still one of my favorite football movies of all time. But as I choke, what's another one that I get emotional for? I can't think of her name. What the hell is she from? Favorite Stephen King film? It probably at that point in time. Red Rose is pretty good. The Shining. Um, I always prefer Region A because in North America you could pop it in different players in my house. I only buy Region B if I have to. You're picky about collecting from different regions. Uh, as long as it because there's certain Region B films that actually play in American stuff as well. So I still have yet to buy it, but I do want to buy a region free Blu-ray player because that's another way to save money as well. If you buy movies from, the UK and stuff like that, you're paying, you know, I don't want to say pennies on the dollar from here, but it's one of those easier way to buy some cheaper titles. I have a couple box sets that I got from the UK that are way cheaper. Um, Not as good a quality like boxing and stuff like that, but I'm like, yeah, if I can save some money, I'll get it. But I do want to eventually get a region free player. What's going on, Sergio? Um, Let me see. Uh, I like region free stuff too. Well, to tell you the truth, there's another company out there. If you're looking for like region free and just from different places, you realize that there are so many foreign films that just go crazy. Like they don't have as many regulations and stuff. And it's one of those deals. There's a company called Artsploitation Films that they take all these films from different countries and stuff, and they'll be the release for them. And there's certain movies from that. A movie called Trauma. I did a review of Whir or Weir, which is not a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's one of those. If you ever seen a movie Kids, it's like a crazy version of that. Like just imagine a movie Kids like times 10, like the craziness and the stuff they do, and just what goes on in the movie is all over the place. But there's so many movies, so many foreign movies that are just over the top that I'd buy a whole lot more, but half of them are region locked. So I do have to get a region free player. Is your box set region free? Yes. Uh, it does. It is UK, but it does have the actually on here. That's weird. Usually on the side, it'll show you the like the this anytime you see like the 18 or whatever, you would think it's from the UK and stuff, but it does play in American. It does play in American players. Everything that I have from Arrow is I'm guessing it's most of it's from Arrow America, but it does play no problem in my Blu-ray players. Um, Favorite Rob Zombie film. Uh, it's gonna be, I guess, maybe a controversial topic at that point in time, but I like House of a Thousand Corpses a little bit more than Devil's Rejects, and Devil's Rejects is really good. But then Three from Hell didn't catch me as much as I thought it was. I was gonna like it, but if I had to choose, probably out of all those films, House of a Thousand Corpses, then Devil's Rejects, then probably 31. The Halloween movies kind of suck. Um, then probably Three from Hell, and then so on and so forth. Um, if you like kids, you might like the River's Edge and Alpha Dogs. Actually, I do own both movies. Alpha Dog. If Alpha Dog's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff like that, I do have that one. And the River's Edge is what the hell collection is that in? I do own that one. Still haven't opened it to tell you the truth. That's another video that I have to. Being a collector, it's one of those deals where I have so many movies that I still have not even opened. Like I'll bet. Tony, do you full screen? Some of them are. Well, most of them actually. Now that I think of it, most of them were full screen. So at that point in time, uh, well, actually, I don't know. I have to. There's so many times that I kind of, forget that part of the screen is cut off at that point in time. So I don't know because back in the day, you used to get the full screen and cut screen, movies and stuff on DVDs. But I don't think they. I think most of the Blu-rays nowadays are most of the time full screen. That's one thing I never. Tell you the truth, I never sat down to actually think of it, but I'm pretty sure. Um, my favorite Disney movie would be Pete's Dragon, and then Fun and Fancy Freed. Uh, like the weird, lesser known uh, uh, Oliver and Company is another one. The Rescuers Down Under. Um, Movies that aren't as popular, like I like the Aladdins and the Lion Kings and stuff like that, but I like the more obscure, the lesser known Disney movies. Do you buy used movies on eBay or do you per? That's another one. If I like I said, if I can find the best price possible, if it's used, well, knock on wood, I haven't you bought many used movies that haven't played, but I have gotten some that haven't played. So I try to go newer, but if I can, like I said, if it's not a movie I need to have, I'll go with used ones for sure, just to save me some money. Um, what else? Have you ever seen Mean Creek or 13 or Lords of Chaos? Lords of Chaos sounds familiar. I don't remember. 13 I own. That's the one with the like teenagers with Evan Rachel Wood. Uh, I have that one. Mean Creek doesn't sound familiar, but do you think physical media Blu-rays will ever go away for digital and streaming only? I mean, it's bound to happen. Uh, I'd like to think not, But the way things are going, I mean, streaming is the new age and stuff like that. But me, you know, if it takes, there's enough collectors out there, I think. I'd like to think that would keep physical media alive because I'd rather be able to pick up a movie, hold it, like look at it. Reminds me of the old school blockbuster days. So it's one of those deals where I'd rather be able to just pick up a movie, hold it, look at it, rather than. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have Netflix and I have Hulu and I have Shutter and stuff like that. But I'm Josh Peck is a mean. Okay, now I think I the one scene is that the one where they're on like a boat or whatever, and then he gets hit by a one of the kids with an oar or something, and they throw him overboard. I think I've seen a scene from that. I don't own it. I haven't seen the full movie, but I think I know which one you're talking about. But Lords of Chaos is another one that I remember hearing sounds familiar, but the only one I uh, know and Fresh Prince of Bel Air. And that's actually not as much Fresh Prince of Bel Air, but like Step by Step. Um, what else? Family Matters. Uh, so those are all up there. You have the cartoons, the old school cartoons, which I guess would be considered TV shows, like the old school Darkwing Duck and Ducktales and Tailspin and Gummy Bears and stuff. Those shaped my childhood. And then you have, of course, the Nickelodeon stuff. Are You Afraid of the Dark and Hey Dude, Hey Arnold, All Real Monsters and stuff like that. Uh, I did on my Blu-ray, and it shows widescreen. How come? I'm sure they have. They probably have either like a selection, or they might have just a widescreen and full screen Blu-ray. But usually they have like a pull-down menu where you can uh, choose like the settings of the Blu-ray. But again, if they do have you know other options on the Blu-ray, I also have to check it out. Like I said, I never really for the longest time, I never really, took notice whether my Blu-rays or whatever are full screen or widescreen, just because I'm so used to just checking out the video itself. I should really actually at that point I'm not a now my head hurts. But anyway, uh, how can I do that? I don't know what movie you're watching. There should be like a menu that shows you that like settings or something. Not 100% sure because I know each movie is different menus and different. But sometimes only certain menus they have like the sound quality and stuff like that. So I don't know if it has full screen or um, widescreen. So you might it all depends, I guess, on the movie. But yeah, not 100% sure. Hobbs and Shaw, that I don't know because I don't actually own that movie. So I'd have to actually probably like look and check. I mean, at that point in time, it should be it's a newer title, so they should have widescreen. Like I said, if I pull, let me just pull like a regular movie out. Actually, that's a more independent title. So let me see. Hmm. It's not really like if I pull something out, it's not really showing me whether it's widescreen or full screen. So I don't know if most come with both or come with some, or it goes just by like it's coming out with like Kids in the Hall remake or reboot or something like that. So this is some good movies coming out. On most new movies, it's a multi-screen edition. So that's what I thought it would be. The FUCK Larry Okay, the fuck Larry, it looks like. What's up, dude? Kind of new here to this channel, not really understanding the crazy thumbs down. At that point in time, at this, I do what I do. If you don't like, if at that point in time, if people don't like what I do, then it happens, kind of deal. So, uh, can't really can't really go by that. I come on here, I talk about movies, and that's what I do. So if you don't like the movies I, review, or don't like the movies I talk about, or don't like, anything at that point in time, then what could I do? I'm still gonna, promote indie movies as much as I can. So people don't like it, at that point in time, you can turn it off. Movies are great. That is right. At that point in time, if you don't, I don't know. It's internet is a funny thing at that point in time. Uh, Again, no matter what you do, it's one of those things where it's I don't know, if people went out and did videos and stuff like that. I can Half the people that I know I get thumbs down from never made a video in their life. So at that point, I'm not gonna appeal to everyone. But if I appeal to 5 people that show up, or 4 people that are in my stream, or every once in a while I get 10 people. If I and it um can have them enjoy my videos. If I get, I don't know how many thumbs down I have. I only see 7 thumbs up. So, if I have 15, 20,000 thumbs down, if I can get 7 thumbs up and the 4 people that enjoy watching me, that's the only thing I care about. I don't care how many, people don't like what I watch, and um, don't like what I talk about and stuff like that, because you know can't please everyone, and that's exactly what some people on YouTube and stuff. They worry about so much about people enjoying it or whatever. To tell you the truth, at that point in time, it's just an extra view to my channel. So you're the one who clicked into it. You're the one, right on the thing specifically. It says movie talk. So if you come on here and think of anything other than me talking about movies, you're going to be mistaken. Before I gave away a movie, and maybe they didn't like the questions that I asked in the you know horror movie Trivial Pursuit. Maybe they didn't enjoy that, but uh, you were doing good with your video. Thank you, Serge. Hopefully, like I said, some people have been here for the 2 hours that I've been on, so I guess I'm somewhat entertaining. But I think the other people are in here just to, at that point in time, to win a movie. But like I said, for those of you who are watching now, if you get, like I said, I don't know. I guess that's the only good thing. It doesn't show me the thumbs down. But to tell you the truth, I'd rather see both, just so I know. But I did get 7 thumbs up and 3 from Johnny. So uh, it's one of those things where it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I know when I put out videos and stuff like that, it's going to get some kind of, some. I don't have many, but you're always going to have that one person that doesn't like you, and they're a troll, and you're going to get a thumbs down from the same person on every video. So, it comes with the territory. Now, if you didn't like the movie, I can understand. If you didn't like the review, I can understand. If you didn't like, but nowadays, if they don't like the person, no matter what content, no matter what videos, no matter what you put up, they're gonna, they're gonna dislike it. So, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was subbed, but didn't have the bell. Now, yeah, I always put up either lives I haven't been doing much of, just because, um, you know, I don't know, no excuse to tell you the truth. But I've been sick, so I haven't done lives. But I put up the reason I do what I do is I'm a movie fan, I'm a movie buff, and a lot of the times I do indie horror movie or indie movie reviews. I put out reviews of movies maybe you've never heard of before, and you might get a chance to watch a movie you've never seen before, never heard of before, and find something new, find a director that you like or whatever. So that's what I do. And if people don't like it, oh well. Do you could consider your movie a movie hoarder or a collector? I think I'm both. Tell you the truth, because there's so many movies that I've bought that I don't need. But at that point in time, it's also see the thing. I certain days I walk in and I'm like, oh, this is my movie collection, and other times I walk in and I'm like, oh, this is my movie collection. I could have probably used that money for so much more and stuff. But at that point in time, it's been a part of my life for the past 18 years. I think I've been collecting 19 years or something like that. So it's one of those things where you know it's now a part of me collecting. So I guess some people look at it as a hoarder. Some people look at it as a collector. I kind of look at it as both. So uh, indie movies sound awesome. There's so much stuff that you get in every genre. But for those of you who might not know me as much, I'm more of a horror movie fan, horror movie buff. There's so many movies out there that are what people are clamming for. So many people, you know, they see the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they're looking for new and exciting stuff. And there's so much stuff out there. It's just that no one looks for it. No one, you know, these movies on Instagram where I show off everything I do have. I'll post pictures of it and stuff. Uh, Tony, this your video. Who cares what people think about it? Well, like I said, I don't. I'm not 100. I don't. For all the people that watch this, I care about the people that come and enjoy themselves. I don't care about the people that come in. I remember one live stream I was doing. Someone called me a human thumb. It's like, oh, okay, wow. Some people come. Some people, you know, are sensitive to certain things, I guess you want to call it. Like, I know I'm going to put up a video and I know not everybody's going to enjoy my content. Now, do people have to sit there and comment and, troll? Definitely not. But I'm also not going to be the one to, complain about it, because I put it up there. It's now open to everyone's criticism, everyone's whatever. So, tell you the truth, you know, certain people take it way too seriously, I guess you want to call it. But I literally, which do you prefer, mainstream or indie films? Now, definitely lean towards indie films, but there are, the mainstream is coming back with a little bit. It's especially like certain genres and stuff. But well, thank you very much. I try to be, I try to be entertaining. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but and I like to, I just, you know, uh, speak the truth. Well, thank you, Sergio. I care about you too. Uh, well, yeah, like I said, I for the everybody that's looking movies, I can talk hours. We're talking 2 hours in, and we're still talking about movie. I can talk movies till my face turns blue. Um, but it's one of those deals where I do a podcast for those of you who are coming in. I see there's like 7 people in here now. Some people might be new. I do a horror movie podcast. It's called The Wicked Horror Show. On the Dorkening, we talk to indie directors, producers, and stuff like that. And I've been a movie buff forever. So being able to sit down and talk to people about I can talk movies, like I said, till my face turned blue. So I try to, help them out as much as possible and stuff. Yeah, but truthfully, I never watched the channel until now, but I like the truth and apparently uh, what the channel shows. I'm a real horror dude, so I'm excited for a new channel to watch. Well, like I said, I put out, especially indie horror, like I'll show you some that, you know, people might have never heard of. Let me pull it out. And here's one right here that maybe no one's ever heard about. Like, even lambs have teeth. You watch if like rape revenge movies kind of deal. If you're into that kind of deal, even lambs have teeth. Have one. I showed this before. If you're into like, uh, there's movies out there like if I see it, I'll buy anything. For those of you who are wondering, let me see. Have you ever seen The Greasy Strangler? Where the hell is it? I have it in my. It's somewhere in here. I do have the. I've seen The Greasy Strangler. That's another movie. Like when I reviewed that, it's best way if you've never seen the Greasy Strangler. Think of Napoleon Dynamite, like the craziness and the weirdness of Napoleon Dynamite turned into a horror movie, because there's so many quotable lines in that and such. Let me see. Have you ever reviewed the award-winning film Sphere of the Lycanthrope? Okay, so Vicious 915. I wonder who you are, because I have never uh, reviewed the movie Sphere of the Lycanthrope. So maybe eventually I will sit down. Do you have any rare out of print movies? Like I said, I just bought the movie Ticks, which is out of print on Blu-ray. So I bought that for like $80. So that one, uh, another sought after one that is, pretty expensive and out of print until they'll probably make another copy of it. But Dead Alive, this one's pretty expensive and out of print and stuff. Like I said, that's one of the next videos I'm going to put out on my channel is going to be the ones that are more expensive and stuff. So I'll what do you want to call it? I'll post a whole video, because if I have to, I'll pull everything out and it'll take a lot of time. What movies do you watch? Everything from horror movies mostly, but I'll watch anything. Do you buy your movies from pawn shops? I don't have too many around here, so I don't. That's probably another way to find, especially rare and out of print. You go to stuff like that, like a Salvation Army. That's another way to probably bulk up a collection. But I don't have too many around me, so I stick to Amazon, Best Buy, or stuff like that. The Greasy Strangler. Yep. I had Big Ronnie call my wife for our anniversary. Love Michael St. Michael's. Oh man, that movie is just so ridiculously out there. What the hell is it? Uh, what's that one thing when they're in the bedroom and they do Rudy Tooty Disco Cutie or whatever? Like I said, it just so much reminded me of Napoleon Dynamite with like a horror movie twist on it, because there's so many freaking quotable lines in there. If you were to suggest one horror film to check out, which one would it be? Um, like I said, the two that brought me into the whole horror genre was, well, one brought me into it, the other one brought me back into it. Uh, Check out Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It depends on what you're looking for too. If you're looking for like suspense, maybe not suspense, but like really like The Exorcist is one of those movies that still get me. Like it's hard to explain. It's one of those things I know I don't watch it that much. I'll tell you that much. There's certain movies that scare the shit out of me, but there's other movies that, like the Blair Witch Project. Some people laugh at the movie. That movie kind of scares the shit out of me, just because it's crazy and weird. Then there's other movies that are gory as all hell that I've seen so many reinventions of a kill that it doesn't scare me or reach me as much as some. But there's certain movies out there that'll still scare me to this day. Creature features, supernaturals, and slashers. Do you play video games? Every once in a while. I used to play it more often, but I'll play like Madden, TFW. Like I said, if you haven't seen Tucker and Dale versus it, they still talk about a second one, but if you haven't seen that, it's such a fun and exciting movie. Fun and exciting. Those aren't the words that I should have used, but it is a fun and entertaining movie. Perfect mix of horror and comedy. It just brought me back to what I did. What's the best DVD you watch? The one movie, if you're talking about the movies that I watch the most of, again, I have so many movies and so many genres and stuff but in case you wanted to know what movie I watch most, it'll probably be either Ernest Scared Stupid. That is probably a movie that I watched the most of my lifetime. Ernest Scared Stupid, Hocus Pocus, or The New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking. If you wanted to know what I watched the most, have you seen Trick or Treat? Which Trick or Treat? The like 1980s one, or the one with Sam, which is actually a really good one. Trick or Treat is good. Pumpkinhead, not as, I don't know. I just never, I guess, gave that movie a chance too much. I know there's a few of them, but did you hear that they're making another Paranormal Activity movie? See, the only problem with those movies is the first time you watch it, it's kind of scary, but then after that, it's you know the scares are coming. So at that point in time, it's a one trick pony kind of deal. First time you watch it, it's entertaining. The next time you watch it, unless you put it away for a couple of years and forget what's coming, then it kind of I don't know, not as not as good as the first watch. There are three trick or treats, four pumpkin heads, three trick or treats. I didn't know that. Okay. Have you upgraded all your DVDs to Blu-ray? Do you still buy DVDs? No, because at that point in time, I actually have more DVDs than I do have Blu-rays. So at that point in time, it would cost me way too much money. I upgraded a bunch of them, but not nearly anywhere close because I, when I first started collecting, DVDs were all I collected. The first, I'd say, I'd say 10 years out of my collecting years were all DVDs, and then the last eight, I'd say eight or so, maybe less than eight, I've been switching over to um, Blu-rays. But if I have to buy a movie, like when I say have to, like if that's the only option they have and it's a movie I want, then DVD I'll get. But if there was a choice between a Blu-ray and a DVD, I always go for the Blu-ray. Like I said, for those of you who might have joined, like I said, I got so much shit on my bed right now that I pulled out just to sit down and talk about. So let me at least put some of this away. But here it is. The one DVD I did buy uh, off of Amazon was this movie. It's called uh, Clown Fear. It stars Augie Duke and uh, Sadie Katz, who we've had on our podcast a few times. So anytime I see a movie with either one of them in it, I buy it, I represent, I support them. So this movie is put out by Lionsgate, and it's only on DVD. So if it had a Blu-ray, I would definitely go out and get it. But to support, them, I went out and got a DVD of it. So check that one out, Clown Fear. If you're into clowns, you'll definitely enjoy that one. Um, some of the DVDs have not been released as of yet. Well, that's another reason too. Some of the movies they only have a DVD release. There's certain movies I want just better quality for, but they haven't released on Blu-ray. So my DVD is not full screen at all. Sorry to hear about that, Serge. But like I said, I'm not 100% on widescreen, full screen, which ones are which. I mean, at that point in time, uh, I think most of the newer ones are back and forth. But like I said, not 100% sure, and I don't know if it varies from movie to movie and stuff like that. So sorry, Serge, that it's not full screen. But yeah, going back to DVDs and Blu-rays, if I had the choice, it'd definitely be Blu-ray over DVD. But like I said, there's a few. If it comes down to it, and it's only on DVD to support, the people that we have on the pod. Pretty much another thing I do too is anybody that comes on our podcast, I'll go and support and buy their films. Like I said, I bought how many copies of the movie Pieces of Talent? The director Joe Stafford. We had the actress Katie, Christy Ray, the guy David Long, who here you can't see it. But if you look at some of my actual videos, this is David Long. So in case anybody was wondering, if you watch my reviews and stuff like that, when I have my camera tilted or positioned the other way and you're wondering what the hell this face is, it's David Long from Pieces of Talent. So they only had a few of these, and the director sent this over to me. So any movie memorabilia or you know any movie props or anything like that, if I can get it, you know, I'll get it. Do you own any horror documentaries besides In a Search of Darkness? Like I said, it's besides um, the Kane Hodder one. I don't believe so. I mean, I don't documentaries I enjoy, especially if I enjoy the the content or whatever the documentary is about. If I you know I'll watch any documentary of stuff. Like if you've seen the thing I'm addicted to now, even though they should make more, is the movies that made us on Netflix. If you've seen that, where it's almost like documentary style about behind the scenes of certain movies. What is it? Only four on there, I think. What was it? Dirty Dancing, Home Alone, Die Hard, and um, that was the fourth one. Home Alone, Dirty Dancing, Die Hard, and Ghostbusters. So you should get going to what is this? Going to Pieces, the Rise and Fall of Slasher. Never heard of that one, so I'm actually gonna have to probably look that up right after this live stream. I'll look that up. Um, but yeah, like I said, if it's a good documentary, I'll definitely check it out. There's another documentary coming out. About the wrestler Vampiro that I want to check out from like I forget what it's called, like Nails to the Coffin or something like that. That show is coming back to Netflix. Which one? Oh yeah, the movies that made us. They had the toys that made us that had like 10 episodes or something like that, and I'm like the movie one's only got freaking four uh, 4 episodes, so I was kind of pissed. But yeah, Vampiro. It says something. What do you want to call it? I think it's like Nails to the Coffin or something like that. That's a documentary I want to check out. And the speaking about movies, the other documentary, what is it coming out March 9th, I think, is the Corey Feldman one where he's finally gonna tell everyone about the child pornography and all that stuff that goes on in Hollywood. I'm actually interested in that. Do I have work? Yes, 8:30 tomorrow. So probably pretty soon I'm gonna be wrapping this live stream up. Maybe I'll do like 2.5 hours, or maybe three. Ended at 12, but that one's I do have will have work. Vampiro was an interesting wrestler. He was actually one of the only reason I watched WCW. I was a WWF mark back in the day, but um, he was one of the only reasons I watched WCW was him, Sting, I guess the NWO angle. But Vampiro was one that I enjoyed. But yeah, March 9th, I think, is uh, they're only showing it once and it's on pay per view or something like that. You have to go to the website to watch it, but it's supposed to be on Corey Feldman and Haim. What is it? What do um, the rape of the two Coreys, I think it's called, or something like that. Do you really think Corey is going to really tell all, or is it just going to be another Geraldo type thing? Um, I don't know. I mean, it would be. I mean, he's been talking this thing up for the past, couple years, but it's also maybe just hype to get some money. But you know, it's things are going on, but it's just one of those things where because now he said he's in fear for his life because he's getting threatening messages and stuff like that. But it's kind of like the Inferno match between Sting and Vampiro. Is that the one where Sting gets set on fire and he climbs the freaking Titantron for some reason and jumps off the Titantron? Because that's the first thing I do is I don't remember exactly why he got up there, but you know, one of those deals. When I set myself on fire, I make sure I climb, 30-foot TV and then jump right off the thing. I don't remember why they were up there, but I remember Sting falling off the Titantron. I do believe the abuse goes on, but not sure if Corey's going to spill it. He spilled a few people's names when he said he wasn't going to, so it could be worth it. I mean, I think I'm going to check it out just to check it out. I don't know. Actually, it all depends on how much it is, because knowing these people is probably like $100 for pay per view to check out something that you know might have nothing, or who knows if someone's gonna screw with it. When do you get up? Tomorrow, probably like 7 o'clock. I'll get up. WCW was nice and fun back in the day. Like I said, I was more of a WWF mark. I don't watch it as much. Like that was my thing when I was young. Movies and wrestling was my two, end all be all kind of deals. Like that was my life, was movies and wrestling. But now definitely not as much. AEW is bringing back my wrestling fandom, I guess you want to call it. Zines. I had the freaking wrestle. Now that I look at it, I'm kicking myself because that was another collection. I used to get the what do you want to call it? All the little figures and stuff, and you look at some, and they're you know so rare nowadays that some of the what do you want to call it? RLJ or whatever the brand is. They were like the bigger size wrestlers, which I had one of them. And of course, the one I had was probably the most expensive, Rick Rude. But back then, you had garage sales and you sold all the toys and stuff. Gotta go. Have a great night. Man, really enjoyed your stream. Thank you for showing up. I was next time I'll do another. I know you wanted to join the game and stuff, but next time we'll definitely do it again so you have a chance to win a movie for sure. I'm gonna try to do more of these live streams, so just stick around. Like I said, if you want, subscribe, hit that like button, hit the bell button, so you know when I do upload more stuff or do more live streams. So gonna try to do and more often. Yep, WWE is okay sometimes. Do you watch anime? No, I've never. Oh, the only, I guess, the only movie I own that's somewhat anime is, I guess, possibly you would call it that, but Little Nemo. I don't know if that's considered anime, but that's one that is like out of my wheelhouse kind of deal. But anime, I never really, you know, never got into. I guess it's too. I don't want to say it's too late though, but Dragon Ball Z, I used to watch every once in a while, like um, before school and stuff. But I never got like full out into it. But I guess that would be the only thing that I would get into. My neighbor Totoro, Pokemon too, I guess. Um, when I was younger, but not now that I watched Pokemon when they had 150 Pokemon, not whatever number they're up to now. I don't know. But your YouTube channel name is their story behind it. Well, if you can tell, my finger's a little screwed up. Uh, in high school, I played football. I dropped weight on my finger, screwed it up, and I'm Italian, so uh, everyone's like, "Oh, you should kind of name yourself something." So in high school, it was uh, Tony Nine Fingers. So at that point in time, it's kind of like a mob name kind of deal, and then I kind of switched it up for the channel. But I do have 10 fingers. It's just that one is not as functional as all the others. So it kind of just came from that. So that is where Tony has 9 fingers came from. I get that a lot. Some guests will come on the podcast. They're like, "Do you really only have 9 fingers?" So, it brings up a story. Back in the day, I couldn't straighten my finger as much. Like it was actually not the tip. I can move everything. I can move it, but it doesn't stay. My tendons, I tore a tendon in here, so they had to do all this surgery and stuff. So the only thing that doesn't move as much is the tip of my finger, but I got most of it. Do you like Hobbs and Shaw? Haven't seen it yet, to tell you the truth. So, um, not a huge like Fast and Furious. I watched the Fast and Furious. I like the first couple of Fast and Furious movies because not that I was a car fan, but I thought the cars were cool. And the Fast and Furious series went from a car movie with some action in it to an action movie with some cars in it. So, it's changed way too much into action. Action films are, pretty much cut and paste kind of deal. You get the same things over and over and over again. So, action. If I had to list all my genres, it'd probably be horror movies on top, then thrillers and crime dramas, and then under that would be like coming of age movies like Stand by Me. Action would probably be on the bottom. Comedy is kind of on the bottom too because nowadays comedies aren't the same. Like the '90s were one thing for comedies. Nowadays it's just. But uh, Cobra, probably out of the Stallone movies, not top. Uh, Over the Top is up there. The Rocky films are up there. Um, Cobra, I don't mind, but it's definitely not on the top spectrum of the whole situation. John Cena is in Fast Eight. Yeah, I saw the trailer. It looks pretty good. Like I said, I'll buy the movies, I'll watch the movies, but not the biggest Fast and Furious fans. Do you watch movies every night, or do you watch regular TV shows, etc.? Depends on the night. Sometimes I'll watch like certain YouTube channels. I'll just put it on my TV and then kind of fall asleep to like there's certain channels I watch religiously. Cinemassacre when he plays the old school video games. I'll watch Wrestling with Regret where he kind of goes through uh, all the old school wrestling pay per views and stuff. I'll watch him. There's certain channels I'll watch just to go to sleep, but most of the time, if to put myself to sleep, I'll pop in a movie I've seen 100 times, so it's just not what do you want to call it? So I don't have to watch it. Sometimes I'll make the mistake of being really tired, popping in a movie I wanted to watch, and then falling asleep in the middle of it. So I don't. I try not to do that as much. So I'll put in a movie that what do you want to call it? Seen 100 times, so I don't have to do it. I like Cool Dude or Wet Movie One. Those were the two that kind of started this whole channel for me because at that point in time, I didn't not many people in my town collect movies. So seeing other people with collections that are even bigger than mine kind of got me into the whole, you know, situation. Who else does? Uh, WrestleManiac 1130. I watch him. Um, then there's other people that I'll skim through. 13th Wolfman. He does his channel. I'll watch his stuff when he puts it up. Um, but to tell you the truth, I don't watch as many reviewers as I should, just because a movie buff. I should be watching a lot more reviewers, but I don't watch as many as I should. Um, what else? Um, what I read before, because I was on some kind of topic. Oh, with the TV shows and stuff. Um, I'll pop on Netflix every once in a while too to not binge watch stuff, but like I said, I'll rewatch or put on the movies that made us or the toys that made us. Like I said, I've seen it how many times before, so I just watch stuff that I can fall asleep to. Uh, John Cena is in Fast Nine. Yep. You said Fast Eight before, but you corrected yourself, Sergio. Yep. Fast Nine. Like I said, with the Fast and Furious, series. Not the hugest fan, but the movies are entertaining enough where I'll buy it. Well, it's also, like I said, I'm a completist, so I'll buy it just to complete the Fast and Furious series that I do have. Let me take a sip of water because I am thirsty. I'll probably end this at like 12 just because I got work tomorrow. So another half an hour we'll go through. Yeah, on the East Coast, that's not many places besides my Best Buy, Target, and Walmart to buy movies and the internet. Yeah, I live on the East Coast too, live in Jersey. So, uh, I watch Cool Duder and Wet Movie, and they're talking about like records and all this stuff and all these different small pawn shops and stuff like that. And it's like, if I had something around here like that, I definitely I have what do you want to call it? Uh, Salvation armies and stuff like that. So, uh, but not as many options. So I'll go to the big name stores, but Amazon is pretty much my go-to place. I put on a movie I've seen to help me fall asleep. That way I don't have to rewatch it. Yep. No, that's definitely easiest way I can fall asleep. I need sound to put me to sleep, so I'll put like the sleep timer on for like three. The only there is like a one small thing that I went to, but they don't have movies. It's more they my area is you know almost like a perfect spot, I must say. Not too far from the Jersey Shore, not too far from the city. Uh, everything it depends on what part of the Jersey Shore you want to go to, but nothing's within more than I'd say like 3 hours. Jersey has so much different stuff too, so I can't complain about it. Um, but for those of you who pop in and out, for those of you who are just joining, we've been talking movies for the past, 2.5 hours. And according to, some people might not like it, but that's what I'm going to try to do is do more of these live streams more often because now, um, it's um, more of a initiative, I guess you want to call it, because now I can monetize my stuff. So, not that I, you know, didn't enjoy doing them when it wasn't monetized, but that little incentive of making a little bit uh, gives me that more motivation to go because sometimes it wouldn't work for me as much, or I'm tired and I didn't want to make a video, but now uh, oh, that's what. But yeah, I see people coming in and out. So I don't know if it's new people. I don't know if it's old people or whatever. But as long as you keep coming back, I'll definitely watch. And I have no one to talk movies with. Like I said, the people that come in here, unless they, you know, hate movies and they just give me thumbs down, you'll get enough people in here to talk movies with you, hours on end. Like I said, 2.5 hours of talking horror movies and movies in general and stuff like that. You'll get you'll get movie talks all the time. So that's exactly what I'll be talking most of the time because I don't know what else to talk about and do lives about. So um, that's pretty much what you'll get here is movie talk a lot, a lot. And of course, like I said, giveaways and stuff like that. So for those of you who missed out on movie giveaway in the beginning of this whole live stream, you'll have you'll have more chances of winning more movies. Like I said, there was only a couple that I had behind me. So I love hearing about movies I've never heard of. Sometimes when you name them, I add them to my list. Well, I'll do that more often too. Um, like I said, I have so many movies just sitting here. Here's another one that I didn't mention. I didn't even open yet. But the only reason I didn't open it is because it was put out by Epic Pictures, but it wasn't part of the Dread Central Presents series. So it's called The Wave. It's got Justin Long in it. Kind of, the trailer made it look like a trippy kind of movie. Like I said, I haven't sat down to watch it, but it's one of those movies where uh, I picked it up because I thought it was in a collection, but it wasn't. So I think that's why I'm not as keen to open it up quickly. But that's another video for another time. I could probably pull out at least like 30 plus movies that I still have wrapped in plastic that I have not. Some of it is because I don't want to open it because I know at some point in time it might be worth something down the road. So I keep it, sealed. But then other times I'll buy it. Not 100% sure if it's full screen or widescreen. I don't know if anybody else has Plex on here that might know more than me, but I'm not 100% sure. Boy, I never knew talking for a couple hours would be that tiring. But so I don't know what we want to talk about in those 18 minutes. But for those of you who have sat here for that long and talked, I thank you very much because, like I said, the only other thing that keeps this live stream going and such is fan support or talking and stuff because well, this is worth it. Thank you very much. Like I said, um, I try to give back as much as I can. Like I said, I'll give movies away and stuff, but sometimes that's not the only thing I want to do these lives for. I actually the other thing I want to start doing too is movie reviews on live. I'll do the my normal taped and stuff reviews, but I want to start doing more interactive ones, full screen or not. So I'm not 100% sure. Because, like I said, the only reason I signed up to Plex the other day is because there was two movies I had to watch on Plex. The one guy added to it because the guests that we had on, we had the people from the 508, or it came from the 508, should I say? They're from Massachusetts, and they had a few shorts that we watched. The Box and what was it? One Last Kill. There were two short films, so check those out. What do you think about Robert Pattinson as the new Batman? Tell you the truth, from the movies that he's done, granted, Twilight and stuff like that kind of, shunned him. Well, not shunned him from my, you know, list of anything. Like I didn't watch movies. A lot of the stuff that he's been in from like A24, he's been in The Rover. He was in uh, Good Times, I think the movie's called, that I really liked him in. So a lot of the movies that I've seen him in recently have kind of brought my liking of him back, I guess we went far. So I think I like it. I canceled Netflix because everything's too generic, nothing cult wise. Well, if have you checked out Shutter? Because at that point in time, Shutter is a lot of it's straight up horror movies. So if you want to check that out, forgive me that Twilight is a thing of the past. As I talk, Twilight is sitting behind me. The entire collection of Twilight is sitting behind me. So those are the only really like streaming services I have. But actually, um, where the hell is it? I have a thing for a free month of Shutter if you want that, Anthony. So you could check that out. I think it is. I'm okay, thank you. Anyways, all right. But like I said, it's Shutter is pretty much a Netflix of just straight up horror movies. From they have from like 80s to there's a movie called Thinking About Trying to. Yeah, like I said, it's if you're a horror movie fan, it's like legit just the horror movie Netflix, I guess. It says try Shutter 30. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff. So, all right. What the hell did I get it from? There was like two or three movies that were Shutter exclusives that I got. Video freezing up. All right, so I guess that's a sign that I should wrap this up because at that point in time, usually once it starts freezing up, that means my connection is screwing up. So um, I guess I'll do the whole little spiel about check me out. If you're watching this, if you haven't already, I'm sure some of you have. Uh, subscribe to my channel because it's if you watched 3 hours into it. It's all about movies. So, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna have to end it soon. So hopefully, if it's freezing up, it's kind of going through and you could hear me. But if you want Shutter, there it is. Try Shutter 30. So try Shutter 30. That's what it says. I don't know if it has to be uppercase, but check that out. For those of you who have stuck through the whole thing, thank you. Like I said, I'm going to try to do more live streams. But if you haven't already, do more live streams. So next time we will have another Trivial Pursuit Horror Edition, so people can win some movies. And yeah, I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.